We're gonna come up with the content. We just need a producer that can produce this motherfucker.
What you pumping, man? You got Facebook in the house or what?
Fucking Facebook. Go.
Calling on in 3. Man, we do this every time.
Yeah, we're going fucking live.
2, 1. Live
on Facebook,
Twitter,
Periscope, YouTube.
It's a Saints and Sinners Sports Talk pod.
Where can you find this podcast?
Rated R 504 Sports on Twitter. Also, we got 504sports.net, the website going down for real. It's happening that way.
We going down.
It is. We're gonna go a little. We're missing Pancho tonight, so we gotta pull one out for the homie and do it the way Pancho would do it. Thursday, 2019. I hope you guys have a lovely night.
Appreciate y'all coming out.
Appreciate y'all coming in.
Alright,
All right, now since we paid homage to our boy P, wherever he's at tonight. Now he's actually coaching, man. He's doing some things with sports. We got the Jay-Z and the Kanye in effect right here, man. That's how we roll.
We don't give a fuck.
But yeah, man.
The Kanye.
NFL free agency was fucking nuts this week, man.
Oh, shit.
Some crazy shit happening.
Man, it's the fucking hottest of stove leagues, man. Just all the fucking shit that's happening.
Stole the thunder.
Like, honestly, like, football was over and it's just blase, blah, whatever. Then boom! Fucking free agency hits and everybody, the whole landscape is just blown up.
The landing strip has been blown up. I mean, I'm just saying this, man. The whole thing is here. You got to figure. Baseball, spring training.
Spiced up the set, Deezy said.
Yes, spice it up.
Deezy.
Spice it up. It's got the titty beads on set.
Hooked up.
The big beads, you know what that's about. For all you locals, man. Some of the people
beads like that. Ain't no telling.
Beads like that, there's usually some degree of nudity going on. Or you buy them at the store for $4. But the thing is this. We're going to say, man, the NBA basically, like, you know, I'm such a big baseball fan. In basketball right now, I'm a little, detached right now with the Pelicans. But I'm still going to watch the playoffs. But still.
Nobody gives a shit about basketball until...
No, I mean, the playoffs...
Until playoff time.
March is a dry month, besides the tournament. The tournament takes center stage. But, man, football...
I don't care who's in it. I'm going to watch it.
Football really took center
stage,
amazing. Man. No, playoff basketball is great. But football really, went apeshit this week. I mean, last time we were on here, we were talking about destinations a couple days ago where Le'Veon Bell was going to end up. Well, all he does is go to New York. He goes to the Big Apple, biggest market in America. He's the guy. $14 million a year. Going to be a member of the New York Jets. He's going to join Sam Darnold, Robbie Anderson, Jamison Crowder in that offense. Pretty up-and-coming defense. I don't know if this move... I mean, this proves to me he's about money, but I don't think it's about winning.
So is it gonna make, a favorite of mine expendable?
I think we'll give 5 seconds to Quincy. I think Quincy... I don't know if he's gone already, but...
I thought he was always a good professional football player.
He can be a part of the team. I don't think he's a high target guy.
He gets hurt, and he plays like the same position.
He's a good third receiver.
That's the problem. I think they might bring another big guy on the other side to kind of complete... what most winning teams are doing in the NFL.
I thought they were going to take a stab at Moncrief. There was a lot of connections with Moncrief before he ended up with Pittsburgh. But I like Robbie Anderson. I mean, if Robbie's not getting in trouble with the law, I think at 6'3", the way he runs, his after-the-catch ability, like I always say, he catches the ball at the highest point. I love his ability on field. Him and Darnold, I think, could have a really nice thing. Well, he's in Pittsburgh
If he takes on that Juju role...
I don't think Moncrief's got it in him. I would stay away from Moncrief. All you fantasy people, don't buy it.
Yeah, what if he breaks out after like 6-7 years? Just because of Roethlisberger and they throw 800 times a game.
It's like buying a porcupine condom. Do not get it, man. It's not. You don't want it. I'm gonna say this. I think the Jets, though. I mean, to me, with Le'Veon Bell, he sat out the whole season. You were going in there with a contender with the Steelers. He chose to sit out. He wanted his guaranteed money. He got paid like a mofo.
Yes.
But here's my thing. It can't be about winning entirely to me. I think the Jets have a good thing going forward. I think they'll be more relevant. I think the fans are going to be happy about it locally there. They already are, it seems.
But how do you feel?
How do you feel about 8, 9, 17?
How do you feel about they saying that Lev Bell actually walked away from more money by holding out?
I mean, it's a bad move on his
They
part.
said Pittsburgh was offering. You hear different reports. They may have offered it, but they might have just thrown that in the media just to save face. You know, it's hard to believe all the reports until you see something with a good source on it. But they say if he walked away from some money, that sucks for him. But at the same time, he didn't put another 300 carries on his body for a team that didn't give a shit about him.
No, you got to, what I'm saying? It's a unique scenario what's happening in Pittsburgh, and I think they're going to be an intriguing team. I don't know what happens with Pittsburgh. I don't know if I've loved their offseason so far. I think when you shed all that cap with Bell and Brown, I don't know if bringing in Dante Moncrief really, I don't know, man. I thought Golden Tate would have been. We know Golden Tate fell off the free agent board today.
But there's a possibility.
I thought that was a good spot for him.
There's a possibility that a lot of people are not even considering. What if Lev Bell took a year off because he needed to rest his body after the pounding he took for Pittsburgh, in his first few years, and he comes out on fire this year?
No, I'm not saying Bell can't ball. But to me, could this be a situation where both teams, and I like the Steelers on paper. I still don't
think the Jets are going to win a lot of games, but I think they have an interesting offense now.
You can make a case that both 8 and 9 winning teams.
That can start to give fans something to be happy about, like. If we're losing, if we're scoring 30, it's exciting. It's better than losing, 10 to 8 or 13, 17 to 13. Those type of games,
maybe it's about the development.
You don't want to. You want to see that every once in a while, but you don't want to see that every week.
No, but it could be about the development of Bell. Well, my thing is this: they're not going to be. I don't think they're an all aired out offense. I think they're going to be balanced on offense. I think the defenses are still going to get them there. Leonard Williams, Jamal Adams. Some of the guys that they have
some interesting pieces.
They've added some pieces, too. They've added pieces. You know what I'm saying? On defense.
But sometimes adding pieces through free agency, sometimes it works. Sometimes it don't.
It's about the right pieces to me. It's about the right situation.
And you have to have the right coaching staff that can take advantage of all of these guys.
I don't know. The thing with Gase is going to be kind of interesting with the Jets. But I don't know.
Crazy eyes Gase.
Look, to me, here's my thing. I think they were fools to let go Demario Davis. And, the Saints free agent move that worked out wonderful for us. Ask any Saints fan. He was one of the top
people I knew. I was one of the few people who knew who he was. He helped a shitty fantasy team get into the playoffs.
Well, there you go. No, but he's a damn good player. Also out of New York, a big thing that went down, OBJ traded. We talked about that a little bit last time.
A lot of people joining us. We got Riley in the house.
Riley, Saturday Night
Bear in the house.
Stacey, what's up?
Eric Sewell.
Eric in the house, man.
We got the wife in the house.
The wife is there. She's around here somewhere.
Marianne Michelle's in the house.
That's what's up, man.
Your sister, Carly Robin, and
we'll be seeing her, man. Hey,
and Miss Vivian LaCantra.
While we got them on the screen, Vivian in the house, man. Where's Bretsky at, man? We need Brett on one of these podcasts after a couple beers. You know what I mean? That would be fucking all the entertainment you need, right there.
Eric Sewell said, can we get some people on this podcast who actually know some football?
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Hey, you have an open invitation whenever you want to come through,
Hey, Eric, man, look, dude, fucking, I'm going to hit you up with some requests, man. When I see you DJing somewhere, man, I'm going to have to fucking hit you up with some, I'm going to put some bad requests on you, man, after that one, man. You're going to have to be playing.
Hey, that's DJ Sewell. That's one of the baddest fucking DJs in all of the South area.
Mr. C's, man, this weekend, I see Pat on there. I see my sister on there. We're going to have to hang out at Chalmette this weekend. Mr. C's is going to be going down. We're talking about doing some podcasts possibly from there. That's all Pinocho's doings. But, if Pinocho's going to decide to, stop watching TV and actually start doing his thing. But Saturday night we got a good show.
He's doing his thing. He's
St. Bernard, man. We're going to be
researching pod material, watching on ESPN.
He's looking at some fucking dancing bears, I think. But anyway, I still don't know if anybody out there knows what a fucking dancing bear is. Please chime in because I didn't know until last weekend. But apparently,
somebody knows.
Somebody
knows. The third member of this podcast.
Yeah, Pancho's a fucking advocate for dancing bears, but anyway. He might have been at one of his parties for all I know. But anyway, the Odell Beckham got moved. Here's my thing. They pick up, and this is what we're going to lead into, a guy that the Saints wanted, but we really didn't have the space. We couldn't give up. We couldn't cut Cam Meredith. He's a $4.5 million deal this year. I think $3 million's guaranteed. Is $1 million we would have saved at the cut. So we couldn't go. If we made the cut, that's not a big savings. Golden Tate, we did free up money today. Drew Brees, as our article stated on 504 Sports Net, he took a pay cut. Some people were
Wow.
thinking Golden Tate could be a possibility. It wasn't a possibility. And I'm okay with it, but I would have loved to have Golden. And I think the Giants, to me, I think the Giants are actually going to win this whole Beckham
Guest
scenario.
appearance, yeah.
This Beckham scenario, I'm going to say this, and people out in other places that's going to watch us on Twitter, our boys out there on Twitter all over, there's going to be some people that think the Giants, and I don't love the Giants and what they're doing. I'm not saying they have a clear direction of everything, but I think giving up Beckham and getting the package what they got and going and getting a Golden Tate and giving that team now to Barkley, to Saquon Barkley, I think that was the right move. I mean, if Beckham's going to be causing problems, if he's a distraction, he's a great player, but maybe he needs to be happy. And now he goes to reunite with his college buddy Jarvis Landry. He's on a team that should be a real threat. I mean, who else? I mean, they're adding everybody. I mean, who else did they? I mean, they picked up Thomas. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Earl Thomas now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that team is really, they're coming together. Cleveland fans have something to be excited for.
No. Earl Thomas signed with
No.
the
Earl Thomas
Ravens.
went to the Ravens. I'm sorry.
He was about to sign when
He
we
almost
were,
signed
when we were
with
late on
Cleveland.
this podcast.
That's
he
right. We
almost
were
signed,
talking about that.
But then he did the swerve. He said he's gonna go to the
But Cleveland,
rival.
but Cleveland to me, and that would have been a fucking huge, like that would have put them over the top.
But there's still guys out here. I mean,
No, they can still go get some other pieces. Now Ronald Darby's still out there too. Ronald Darby, a guy coming off of a major
and
injury,
even after
good
they
corner.
traded, made those trades. I mean, they still have draft picks. I mean,
They still do. They can go get. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna have.
and they've nailed a lot of their recent draft picks.
Do you, if you're Cleveland, do you go for a big play safety possibly at this point in the draft? You know what I'm saying? Do you go after a Thompson from Alabama? You know what I'm saying? Does that come into the mix if you're
But dude, I thought I was under the impression they didn't have a first rounder.
Do you get creative? I'm saying, do you start mortgaging other things? I mean, do you try to get back?
I
to
mean,
the first?
if the Browns have showed us anything in this offseason and in the last few months, is that they will mortgage the future because they are this close. They have the right quarterback. They're arguably the most talented team in the AFC. You still have that buzzsaw. You still have the Patriots. Who can do it with sticks and bones and, whoever.
But
Philip Dorsett is like, a guy that's going to produce for those guys.
Let's say a top 2 safeties on the board and a top 20. Let's say you're between 17 and 25, a big time safeties on the board. They could easily parlay a next year's first and move up. Kind of the way the Saints did with Marcus Davenport. You can parlay next year's first if you're in position. Cleveland doesn't have, I'm not saying they're there to be in a Super Bowl yet.
Oh, shit.
But they have a lot more, it's set up better. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot more, they're ahead of them. Look at their receivers last year. Look at what they are now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, a lifelong Browns fan, I'm sure he never wavered on those Brownies. Anthony Kirk said, Brownies.
The Browns are fucking...
He has never wavered, even after winless season. He was still talking shit about them Browns.
They're hotter than Jessica Alba in a beach bikini right now, man.
They're fucking... I'm sorry, I was 2 years away from being 2 years away on those Browns. I knew they would do it sooner or later.
The Browns fans...
I ain't going to say I was a fan, but I was a fan of what they was doing.
They're buying tickets. They don't have to buy as much Viagra because they got enough stuff going in their right direction. They're fucking... The Browns are fucking rolling hard, man. You might even see LeBron come back to Cleveland. He might demand a trade out of L.A. and say, fuck that, I want to go back to fucking Cleveland, man.
Kirk said the Brownies just need to eat the right kind of brownies and they will, win the Super Bowl.
Baker Mayfield, when you got a quarterback...
Baker Mayfield's going to win a championship. You don't have that kind of swag and don't win.
He strikes me as a guy that might know a good edibles dealer. That's all I'm saying, man. Baker, that dude's dancing in college. Tony, if you get a chance, check out his dance videos at OU, man.
He does the whole Fortnite.
Dude's got some skills, man. He's got some skills, man. He would make a 1980s breakdancing movie proud. You know what I'm saying? They could have thrown that cat in The Last Dragon somewhere.
He does the best Orange Justice this side of my daughter Haley.
That dude's a beast. But Cleveland, there's a lot to be excited about. Now, I like the Beckham trade. I'm not hating on the Beckham trade at all. I think it was the right move for the Giants.
The best thing is that,
it's
a reasonable contract for a guy of his caliber. They stopped making $28 million a year. He's making just a few more million than Devin Funchess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's got more guarantees, and it's longer. But I'm just saying, like, it's a reasonable contract that they can work around and still build around that.
Look,
that's the problem with a lot of elite receivers. When you invest that much of the salary cap into that position, it fucks you in other areas,
Well,
especially in your depth. That's why those teams don't win
they're in a-
championships
they're in a
year
good
over
position.
year.
They're in a good
But
position
they can
right
still
now.
afford to add and add.
Well, yeah, they're in a good position because right now you have Mayfield, who was the number 1 pick overall last year. You had Chubb, that was in the second round. You have rookie contracts. You have Myles Garrett the year before that is your best defensive player. You have Denzel Ward, one of your top 3 defensive players. You have a lot of key players that's on rookie deals. So therefore, you got a little more cap space going forward. My thing
But
about
you got the quarterback, on a
Yeah,
4-year
but
rookie
I mean,
deal.
it's-
That's
No,
what
the timing
allows
was
you
right.
to have
the timing was right. I mean,
allows you to have the money to spend like the Rams did.
they did.
They spent a lot of money to try to make a Super Bowl run before.
I'll
they
say this though. I
quarterback.
think Baker. I'm gonna say this. Baker to me is head and shoulders above Goff. That's my.
Oh man, that's not even a
I
question.
think that
That's
would be-
not even a debate to worth having. Like he's more in
Some
line.
people it
He's
might
more
be,
in line with a
because
Patrick
he's-
Mahomes. I see him and Patrick
I don't know
Mahomes.
about Mahomes yet.
being those guys.
That's bold with Mahomes, but I don't know. He could be one of those guys. He could be one of them soon.
I'm talking about
I'm not
Goff.
saying he's there
Goff is in another tier. He ain't in the tier.
Goff's at
he ain't
15
in
to
the
25
tier
at best. He's at 15 to 25 quarterback.
He's
in my
good
opinion.
enough if you have enough good pieces around him. You can win some games, but I don't trust him in the biggest
Well,
of them.
Well, here's my thing.
He needs to make throws to win that game.
But overall, I'm going to say good move by both teams. I think Golden Tate with Barkley, with Shepard, with Evan Ingram. I think Eli, we talked about Eli. Eli is basically done. New Orleans guy, had a damn good career, won a couple Super Bowls. It's time to move on for Eli. They have 2 first-round picks. I think Haskins or somebody, they have to go quarterback. Maybe Josh Rosen. We talked to Knowles, 9-inch Knowles earlier from Gumbo Sports before we went on. He proposed the idea of Josh Rosen possibly with that second-round pick. If you can get the best offensive lineman available, a bona fide edge rusher, and come in with a Josh Rosen in the second round, that's a win to me for the Giants in this draft. I like that idea. I think they can do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think the trade can work well for Cleveland and the Giants going forward. That's what trades are designed to do. They got to work on both sides. You know what I'm saying? You try to establish a trade chemistry with another organization to where those borders are open years and years to come.
The problem with the Giants, and all that makes sense. That makes perfect sense to any rational person would have thought the same thoughts. Like invest into Haskins. You got some different interesting pieces that can work on your offense. You still need to rebuild the defense. There's some things you can do if you had a quarterback that wasn't Eli. I'm of the opinion that the New York Giants are a fucked organization, and they're gonna keep rolling with Eli. And everything in the organization is set up to make Eli look good.
I don't think these guys. I don't know.
They're beholden to Eli.
I don't think they. I think the problem was I don't think they were in the right position. They saw Barkley last year. You had to take Barkley. Trust me, they're better off at taking Barkley than anybody else they got at that pick.
They'd be better off if they had Sam Darnold.
No, not at all. No. I don't know. Can we get somebody to chime in? Where's my boy Highlander? No, I would take Barkley over Darnold any day of the week. Sam Darnold might not be a top 3 quarterback in this draft.
Quarterback.
I don't know about that.
Quarterback is the most important position.
Well, guess what? They got him coming out in next year's draft too. I mean, it's not like they stopped making quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, quarterbacks.
Yeah, but
you can go get a Tua. You can go get your boy.
You'd be 2 years.
Ronnie Bass from Remember the Titans.
Yeah,
Lawrence
but
Clemson.
you'd be 2 years into your quarterback's development by then. You
go get Josh Rosen.
Would be.
You could go get Josh Rosen right now with a second-round pick. That'd have been better than if you give me Josh Rosen, who might be better than Sam Darnold when all's said and done, and Saquon Barkley, I'd do that any day of the week right now.
Are we sure Sam Rosen is that good?
I think Josh Rosen has potential. I mean, he's a top 10, top 12 pick. Here's my thing.
Are we sure he's that good?
Are we sure Sam Darnold's that good? Because the first half he looked like shit, and then when he got Robbie Anderson the ball late in the year, things changed. He looked better.
I seen what he's capable of.
I mean, I'm not saying he can't be a good
as
quarterback.
a rookie, we're talking about Eli Manning.
I take Saquon Barkley.
Eli Manning
taking the
led
best
the
player.
league with interceptions as a rookie. It's not the easiest thing to do. When you
This
show
is why I'm
something
saying Devin White
as
at
a
5.
rookie,
This is the whole reason I'm saying Devin White at 5. You take Devin White at 5 over an unsure quarterback. Because I'll tell you this, a middle linebacker, Mike Singletary won a Super Bowl with Jim McMahon, who was not that fucking good. People remember him because what he did in the playoffs, and he was the face kind of, he was like kind of outgoing, but he was like the 20th reason they won that Super Bowl. Let's be real. It was about Mike Singletary, Richard Dent, Walter Payton, other guys they had on that team.
So you're saying the
Ray
Giants
Lewis,
should take that linebacker?
Trent Dilfer with Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying you take the best player on board. If Barkley's a transitional player that could just turn a team into something different, you go that way. Devin White could be that for Tampa. I'm saying just because a guy's a quarterback quarterback and edge rushers, left tackles are really important, but so is a middle linebacker. I think there's and a running back in the case of Barkley can shape things. Look at Todd Gurley what he does for the Rams. Look at Marshawn Lynch what he did for the Seahawks during their championship year, and should have won a second championship if they knew how to hand the ball to him from
now
the
Todd
2-yard line.
Gurley's knees messed up.
Well, no, but I mean, but that's
it's the most damage-taking position.
Yeah, but
and if that guy gets hurt, somebody else will just come in and do 90%
but
of what the last
or
guy
you
did.
take a Blake Bortles for 5 years and go nowhere, or you
Well,
take
you
a
have to
fucking
have the right
Andy
quarterback.
Dalton. Well, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You don't take a mediocre quarterback and pass up a
But Sam Darnold's
generational
not
running back.
mediocre.
We don't know if he's mediocre. We don't know. From what we saw, he's very mediocre to me.
I think he's pretty good.
I don't think he's that good yet. I mean, can he be good? Absolutely. But we ain't talking the next coming of Andrew fucking Luck here. You know what I'm saying? He's not that kind of player. I don't care what anybody says. He's not an Andrew Luck.
I
He's
think
not a
he could
Pat
very
Mahomes.
well be a top 10 quarterback.
I don't see it. I see top 15. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he can't. He's going to be given all opportunity to work. He's got a running game now with Bell. He's got Robbie. He found out who Robbie was late in the year. He was introduced to his fucking wide receiver 1 in week 12. You know what I'm saying, for some reason. But I think Darnold's got the possibility of being a good player. But what I'm saying is he's not Andrew Luck.
You
He's
just
not Pat
salted
Mahomes.
that he didn't throw
Well,
to
I mean, he
Robbie
looked like-
Anderson in the beginning of the year.
Look, I am salty, but I'm saying here's my thing.
He's a
He
fucking
played
rookie. Like, you shouldn't.
And he looked like shit early on. And when he
Yeah.
threw to Robbie Anderson, he looked like a more reasonable quarterback that should have went the first round. I'm just saying. That's all I'm stating. But here's my
And
thing
he
is
did
this.
it at the end of the season.
But you don't pass
I
up
hope
on
the
Barkley.
quarterback gets better
Any
over
way,
the
shape, or
course of the
form, man.
season.
You cannot take Barkley. You don't draft Darnold over Barkley. You don't
I
draft
would do
anybody.
it.
Baker Mayfield's the only quarterback in that draft you take over Barkley.
I think this would be a good. This would be a
Because
good
right now
poll
you
question.
can go get Josh Rosen.
This
You
would be
can
a-
go
This would be a good
get
poll question.
Haskins. You know what I'm saying? You can do
Let's ask the Twitter sphere.
Jones,
What do y'all think?
Locke,
Y'all
anybody.
think y'all would take Sam Darnold or Shaquan Barkley? Is anybody paying
Barkley,
attention?
it's not even close. If you get 100 people voting, you're going to have 85 people going towards Barkley, no doubt in my mind.
All right, hold up.
Barkley changes everything for the Giants. He is their future. Even though there's a shorter career span, I'd take 10 years of Barkley over 15 years of Andy Dalton any day of the week. Or Ryan Tannehill. Look how many quarterbacks haven't done shit. I mean, and then look, we're talking about first-round quarterbacks. Tom Brady's the best ever. He's a sixth-rounder. Drew Brees, one of the top 5 of all time, in my opinion. And that should be in everybody's opinion. But he's a second-round pick. Russell Wilson, great quarterback. You know, all 3 of these guys won Super Bowls. Russell Wilson, not a first-round pick. You don't need a top 10 pick at quarterback. It doesn't always pan out that way. Barkley's too damn good to pass up on, man. Like, you cannot... Like Devin White, a fucking, player like him, even though he's a middle linebacker, I'd take him over the second-best quarterback in this draft.
But they had the second pick.
Who's that? No, I'm saying, but anyway, no, but fucking, to me, like, Tampa would be crazy to pass up on Devin White. They lost Quan Alexander. You got to get Devin White, to me. You changed the whole landscape of your defense with that guy. But let's get on. We're going to come back to some of the info. But the Saints, that's what we're here for, man. We're NOLA boys, you know what I'm saying? We do the Gulf Coast, man. Crawfish season's here. We're doing our damn thing. The Saints picked up Malcolm Brown, defensive tackle from New England. Former first-round pick.
So you like him? Or you think
I think it's a good move. They needed depth at defensive tackle. With Rankins coming off the Achilles injury, Onyemata could be facing a light suspension with weed, which I think is total bullshit. But that's the NFL, a bunch of fucking hypocrites, Roger Goodell and company. They prescribe opioids that make people want to jump off a fucking bridge. But marijuana, who's going to make you order an extra fucking pizza that night, you want to fucking outlaw that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Fuck you, Roger Goodell.
That's fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? That's the same asshole that doesn't recognize what happened in the Saints-Rams game. But anyway, the Saints could be a little thin at defensive tackle early in the year. No telling how long Rankin's timeline is going to be. You go get Malcolm Brown, good run stuffer, can provide a little pressure in the passing game. He's not going to get 10 or 12 sacks, and that's hard for defensive tackle these days. But Malcolm Brown, good player, first-round pick.
We'll talk about this.
Well, former first-round pick in Brown. He's going to be a really solid player. Good rotational piece when Rankins does come back with Onyemata.
That's what I said. Yeah, you have to add pieces somewhere. But
Teddy Bridgewater back as well. Teddy Bridgewater back on a 1-year deal as well.
But do you feel kind of salty that they found all this money and they couldn't find $5 million for Mark Ingram?
Yeah, I'm absolutely salty because I'm a big fucking fan of Ingram, and I don't think Latavius Murray is going to replace Ingram. He doesn't have the same getaway speed. He's a good blocker like Ingram, but he's not the pass catcher.
I read somewhere that he's a fast
speed.
Mark Ingram.
I don't think he's fast. I'd take Ingram's speed. I've seen Ingram bust a lot of big runs the last couple of years. I take Ingram in the locker room. I take Ingram's getaway speed over Murray. I take away his pass catching ability over Murray. He's a little better yards per catch. from what I saw.
But
pass blocking, Murray's a good pass blocker, but I think Ingram is a little bit better. I've seen Ingram level fucking people.
But
Ingram's look like Stone Cold Steve Austin on a fucking suplex.
Before a guy, you know, that just needs to have a hole, hit it, you know, will he work for what the Saints do?
I mean, Murray can. I mean, I'm not saying, look, I'm going to embrace Murray. I don't think he's a terrible player. I didn't like Cam Meredith last year. I'm not a big fan of this. If I'm the GM, I don't make this move.
I don't know.
To me,
Lat Murray is just like a jag.
I would consider
a guy that you can
absolutely.
You can draft
I consider cutting Patrick Robinson right now because I think you need P.J. Williams more than you need Patrick Robinson. P.J. Williams was very instrumental along with Eli Apple. Although there's the Apple haters that exist, let's be real. Eli Apple and P.J. Williams took the secondary from good to great, in my opinion.
All right, 80% Sam Darnold at the moment out of 5 votes.
Well, it's 5, man. Those people are fucking nuts.
That's just the ones
I don't know
that came quickest.
I don't know. Are they from New York? I mean,
are they
Jets fans?
They're just Twitter fans. I mean, they're anonymous voters that voted on Twitter.
Y'all better check yourselves, man.
Yeah,
y'all fucking taking goddamn Dick Hammer's
so
grandson over fucking Saquon Barkley. I mean, what the fuck?
Hold up.
Ask these same people, did they take fucking Phillip Rivers or fucking Ray Lewis? And if let's see that same fucking scenario.
Middle linebacker is more important than running back.
Okay, did they take Marshawn Lynch or fucking Phillip Rivers?
Let's see.
I'd love to hear that because Marshawn Lynch should have won them 2 Super Bowls. I know it's a shoulda, but it's not his fault that they fucking decided to throw the ball at the fucking 2-yard line. If they hand that guy the ball, Seattle's a 2-time champion within a few years.
It's hard. It's hard to bet against. It's hard to bet against the Patriots because. You know, he would have probably scored, and then somebody would have threw a flag on the field. It would have been a hold, and next thing you know, it's first and 10 with no time on the clock.
I think Seattle got away with murder. They used to hold the fuck out of people. They love the dynamic. Roger Goodell sucked off Russell Wilson after a game once. You know what I'm saying? I'm convinced that happened. Because I'm just saying, look, they got away with murder. Ask any Saints fan or any other fan that played a fucking playoff game in that venue. The defenders are allowed like 15 yards to grab and fucking hold. I mean, I swear this one dude was jacking off one of our receivers 20 yards downfield and didn't get called for it. You know what I'm saying? But Rafi Bush wants to lay somebody out on a fucking pass catch and they call it defenseless receiver. Total bullshit because their fucking face masks grazed each other. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. But no, man. But, you know, I mean, hey, look, I don't hate Darnold, man. I'm not saying Darnold's a bad player, but Barkley is fucking monumental to me. But they have a chance. Barkley gives them a legit franchise. But Marshawn Lynch was the best player for the Seattle Seahawks that season. Let's be real. I know y'all love Russell Wilson. You do especially. And I like the guy. I've grown to like Wilson more and more each year. But without Marshawn Lynch, they do not win a Super Bowl.
You have a problem with
without Todd Gurley, the Rams are not in the playoffs.
You have a blind spot for quarterbacks that run for some reason.
Here's my thing. No, I mean, dude, Elway was a bit of a runner. I think he's one of the top 3 quarterbacks of all time.
There's something different between him.
No, that's bullshit, man.
Him and those other guys.
That's horseshit. No, man. I'm not the dude that, you said the poncho, that might make sense, but nah, I ain't going with
that. No, man.
No, I'm going to say this.
The only thing I talk less to him about is trades.
No, I'm going to say this. You tell me this. Lynch is the reason the Seahawks, besides that great defense, they don't have Lynch. They did, but Lynch was their best player
that can make plays when they needed somebody.
To me, Lynch was the face of that team.
He made the plays when they needed to make
Walter
plays.
Payton. We talk about Mike Singletary. Who else is the other face in the '85 Bears? Walter fucking Payton.
They had like probably the best defense of all time.
The Cowboys. Troy Aikman and who else?
Well, you have that.
Emmitt fucking Smith. If they don't have Emmitt Smith, do they win those titles? Maybe. I don't know.
They could have 50 other guys. They had one of the best offensive lines of all time.
I know they did, but give Emmitt credit. Yeah. He did his thing.
Give him credit. He didn't get touched till he got 5 yards downfield every time he fucking touched the ball. A lot of guys would have looked good in that situation. A lot of guys.
Look at the Cowboys.
He was just the guy that landed there.
They have a good line now, and Rod Smith looks like shit. Elliott looks like a fucking top 5 running back. I mean, it's not anybody
Rod Smith touches the ball like 3 times a game. It's hard for him to look good at all.
McFadden, a former first-round pick out of Arkansas. He
looked
had
like the same yards per carry as fucking Elliott did when he played.
Nah, that is not no way, man.
Because they fucking get 3 or 4 yards downfield before they get touched.
One guy's out of the league.
A lot of people look good when they get 3 or 4 yards down the field.
I'll say this. Running backs, here's the thing about running backs. you can't overvalue him in certain situations. Like with Bell with the Jets, that doesn't make sense. But you need running backs.
Barkley making a comeback,
Who the
56
fuck,
to 44.
I mean, what Saints fan out there doesn't think Alvin Kamara is one of the 3 most important players on our team? Because they're on crack if they don't think that. And I mean, I'm going to say this. I mean, and it's a hard argument because the Saints are fucking uber talented. Cam Jordan, Drew Brees, you know what I'm saying, Michael Thomas. You can make that argument, but it's hard not to put Alvin Kamara in that. Like, to me, Kamara makes so much
You know what kills this whole,
the biggest
you know what
thing for the
kills
Saints
this, hard,
to me the last
this whole
2 years.
argument? The Saints drafted that dude in the 3rd round. They are there in the 3rd round.
I'm not saying, listen, I get that.
Lev Bell went in the 2nd or 3rd round.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
You know, David Johnson,
Marshawn
2nd
Lynch was a high
round.
pick, though. He was a high draft pick.
He was a late to mid-late first
He
rounder.
was a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Worked out pretty good. I'm sure Walter
Yeah.
Payton was a first-round pick, and they won a Super Bowl with him. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
running
you
backs.
can name just as many, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks.
I mean, what I'm saying, but teams, you need a
I mean,
running
we
game
could just
to
keep
win. You
naming-
need a running game to win.
naming guys. You know?
I did the article on 504sports.net. You don't need an elite wide receiver, as has been proven in the last 10 Super Bowl winners, but you need a good running game. You think about the running backs that came
we got
through.
Oob in the house.
Walter. Who would you take?
Hey,
Well,
what's up, baby?
Walter's going to be friendly
What's
to
up?
you because he just made a trade with you in fantasy, but Sam Darnold or Saquon Barkley this year draft, it's a no-brainer to me, man. It's a no-brainer to me. I'm not hating on Darnold. I'm not. It's just Barkley to me
Quarterback is
special.
the most important position.
I don't care. But you
on
don't
the
take an
field.
average quarterback over.
He's above average.
We don't know that. We don't
You're
know that.
saying he's average. I'm saying he's not.
All right, let me ask you this right now,
That's
right
where
now.
the disconnect is going to be.
Let's go right now. Saquon Barkley, top 3 running back in the league. Absolutely. Sam Darnold, 24th best quarterback in the league.
Yeah,
Can't be
but-
much higher than that.
But if running
I'm not
backs,
saying he can't develop.
if running
but
back's the 15th most important position on the
it's
field,
not the 15th
then,
most important
then
position.
and the quarterback is the most important position on the field. There's no comparison.
It's not. No, it's not the 15th most important position. Look, unlike the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who draft kickers in the 1st round, people know that running backs are important. Look, they don't have a fucking running back. When was the last time they did anything at running back? Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott. Martin had one good year out of like 8 over there. I mean,
it doesn't help that
but
they
I'm
don't
saying,
have a secondary.
they don't have a
either.
running back,
Their
and they
fucking
suck.
defense sucks.
I mean, but look at the teams. Atlanta chose not to run the ball last year. Tevin Coleman had well under 200 carries. They sucked. You have to have a running game. The Saints, Drew Brees threw for 5,000 fucking yards, and we were 7-9. You have to run the football. Defense, running the ball, good quarterback play, and good coaching. It works. It's a formula for success. If you don't have a running game, you're not getting there. I'm sorry. What was the last team that didn't have any kind of running game that won a Super Bowl?
The Patriots, many
The
times.
Patriots just won this year.
Patriots
Sonny
won.
Michel.
Yeah,
If they don't have
they
Michel,
just
they
got
don't win a Super
Michel. They just got Michel. Besides that, they've had a lot of mediocre fucking running backs.
They always make it
Because they
work,
fucking
though.
they could throw the ball 40 times and fucking
Well,
win the game like that.
Tom Brady's Tom
There's
Brady.
a lot of quarterbacks that could do that, but they
Deion
choose
Lewis,
not to.
Deion Lewis balled. No, not any quarterback could do what Tom Brady does. That's crazy talk. Deion Lewis
A lot of
was
teams
balling.
could fucking win using
Kevin
the quarterback
Falk was a
throwing
good
40
running
times
back.
a game.
The Patriots, just because they play that by committee system, don't mean they're more dependent on a run now because Brady's over 40 years old. They have you have the best quarterback ever. You're going to use him. Same with the Saints, but they always had a running game. I mean, I'm telling you, it always. Kevin Falk ran the ball well in the playoffs. Deion Lewis had a really good year.
They pass to set up the run.
Absolutely, I'm not saying everybody has the same.
They
scheme.
pass to set up the run, which is the perfect
When the
formula.
Saints won a Super
Yeah,
Bowl,
get up using your
what were
passing
we?
game. Get
Top
up,
10
get
rushing
up 2,
team.
3 touchdowns using your passing
Let me
game,
ask you
and
this,
then
though.
pound them in the second half. That's
So-
the best team. That's the formula.
Saints, a top 10 running team, they win a Super Bowl. Seahawks, one of the best rushing teams in the league, they win a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. Patriots this year, without Sonny Michel
And
and
the
James
Saints
White,
also
they
won
don't
a
win
Super Bowl because they had like one of the most elite passing games.
I'm just saying, but the running game is there. You have to have balance. You cannot throw the ball 80% like you have to be able to like run the football at certain
you
times.
can
of the
win
game.
that way. The Patriots have proven it.
And the Patriots are the fucking Patriots. I mean,
Yeah.
Tom Brady. Is there not 31 other Tom Bradys? No, there's not. You're not going to find that. You can do that and say, oh, if you have Mahomes, you're saying everybody wants to be the Chiefs offense. You got fucking very few quarterbacks that can do that type of shit. There's a handful of them, and that's it. Guess what? Other than that, you better find other ways to win. If you don't have a Mahomes, a Breeze, a Rodgers, a Brady, maybe Luck, you got to find running game.
If you
gotta
have that
good
guy,
defense.
you need to fucking take advantage of
Yeah,
him.
but Darnold's not that fucking guy. That's the whole point. Darnold is nowhere near those guys. He never will be. No, he will not be in that category, man. That's crazy. He's not a fucking Andrew Luck Tom Brady.
He
Drew
showed
Brees.
fucking success as a
What did he
20-year-old
show?
in the fucking NFL.
What did he show?
He's like one of the youngest
Don't pull up
guys
his
ever
numbers. He's
ever
very
had
mediocre.
success in the fucking league.
What? Dan Marino got to a Super Bowl his first year in the league.
Yeah, as a fucking senior, he's a fucking
Tom Brady won a
20-year-old.
fucking Super Bowl.
20-year-old.
Tom Brady won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, when he was like 24-year-old
Joe
rookie.
Montana. Come on, there's a lot of rookies.
Yeah,
that
when
had
they were
success
fucking
in
like
the NFL.
24 years old.
You could go look at the
Fucking
Peyton Manning thing.
4
Yeah,
years,
that's a good example.
4 years after his fucking development.
So you tell me you saw something in Sam Darnold, all 35 minutes of football you watched with him probably this year. You telling me you saw him
I saw it.
the same way you
I
saw
saw
Amir
it.
Abdullah
I saw it.
and Quincy Enunwa.
Yeah, just talk about anybody's failures as to fucking prop up
Thurman.
your argument.
I'm just saying. You tell me you
Like,
saw
fuck
Darnold.
outta
I watched
here.
him. I watched him too.
you
I watched
fucking-
the same guy that threw across the field 4 times last year. He's not that
Yeah,
good.
in his first game, fuck.
No, he did that later
Yeah,
on.
he did that in his
too.
fucking
He did that
first
later
game.
on, too. He
In
did
the first
same
game of his
type throw
career,
later on.
yeah,
Go
fuck.
find the game tapes. He did it
It
like
was
in
a-
week 10 too. Trust me. One
Yeah,
of those
he,
weeks.
he played good from like in the month of December. That's when I
You
seen
know
what
why
I
he
needed to
played
see.
good? Because he had Robbie Anderson.
He
threw the
played
fucking ball.
good because he
It
fucking
took him
played
10
good.
games to realize Robbie Anderson was his best.
No,
fucking
you
target.
just like Robbie Anderson because he's on your goddamn fantasy
Well, let
team.
me ask you
Like,
this, though, boy.
fuck, you talk about fantasy team, you're just propping up your fantasy guy
I'm
like
not.
fucking
Robbie
the
Anderson's
whole
the
fucking
he was the best.
conversation.
But okay, Darnold.
They literally had one of the worst receiving cores in the league.
Well, let me ask you this.
That's why they needed to get
When
Jameson Crowder. That's why they're gonna draft another
They're
guy.
not drafting a receiver. Here's my thing.
Mark
You
Murray.
targeted Robbie
N'Keal
Anderson.
Harry.
You targeted
Fucking
Robbie Anderson. But let me ask you this,
DK
Roy,
Metcalf.
answer this question. When they targeted Robbie Anderson, is it magical
Yeah.
how his numbers, how Darnold's numbers went up?
It's gonna be
And they
even
looked like
more
shit when he
magical.
wasn't throwing.
It's
to him.
gonna be even a more magical offense when he's your number 2.
You can believe Darnold's a top 5 quarterback all you want. He'll never be a top 5 quarterback.
His
in my
his
opinion.
numbers will be there. They're gonna fucking air the ball out.
Man, you on Dream Street with that one, man. I don't know who gave you those edibles before, man. But fucking, I don't know, man. I hope y'all remember this shit. This shit is on.
Hey, it's on fucking tape.
Sam Darnold will be a top 5 quarterback this year, folks. I'm
heard
I'm
it
going to bet on Saquon
here
Barkley being a top
first.
5 running back, but y'all can take the Darnold route if y'all want.
Sam Darnold, 53 to 47, 15 votes. It's a little closer than I thought it was.
Well, it should be closer.
53% no football.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that ends up, man. I mean, I don't care what they fucking say. I mean, look, I'm just saying.
Hey, you don't
I
care
know-
what the fans say?
I mean, I don't know. This is
They're
your people on
lying,
Twitter.
voting.
These are people on Twitter that like everything's fantasy based, and if it's fantasy based, it should be Barkley too. So I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. But I mean,
This is for reality
I don't know.
football.
You must have single-handedly found like
I said,
fucking
who
most
should
outrageous
the
people you could
Giants-
find.
Who should the
They
Giants?
bought from the same.
I kind of
Admirals
fucked
deal.
it up. Like it's hard to fucking type on this thing sometimes. Who
Saquon
should the Giants
Barkley-
drafted at 2 in 2018?
20 years from now, in a time capsule, Barkley's going to be way more of a name than Sam Darnold ever will be. That's my personal opinion. I'm just going to throw that out there. Barkley's going to be way more important to the game of football than what Sam Darnold ever could be. That's
And
I'm just
Sam
gonna leave it
Darnold's
at
going to
that.
win more games.
What? I don't buy that. I don't think that's
Not
going to be the case.
not if they fucking stick with fucking Eli for the next 2 years. That team's going to win like fucking 8 games in the next 2 years.
I don't
They
know
might
what-
have a chance to get 2 at some
Y'all, he
point.
talks about fantasy, but the whole reason you like Darnold is he's on your fantasy team because you gave up Julio.
I liked Darnold before. That's why I went after him. I aggressively went after
But
him.
you're the only one.
I went after him.
I don't understand. I don't see the love for Darnold, man. This is like Amir Abdullah.
Oh,
Y'all the
we
same
got,
guys that
we
gave
got
me shit.
Alex in the house.
They gave me shit. They tried to okay. I'm gonna start.
Alex, don't talk about Ingram's blood clots. I don't want to talk about that.
Here's my thing. Oh no, Ingram. Hey, thank God the Pelicans didn't make that trade. You'd have had fucking Lonzo Ball, who's borderline on crack. You'd have had Ingram
I'm
and his
glad
shoulder
we didn't.
falling off.
I'm glad we did.
I'm glad you didn't too, because guess what? The Pelicans gonna have so many fucking deals on the table when this offseason comes. But here's my thing, man.
Hopefully y'all don't get fucked by Boston like everybody thinks
Boston's
is
not.
gonna happen.
I mean, but it don't have to be Boston. It could be the Knicks. It could be. We're transitioning to a little Pelicans real quick.
Well,
LeBron fucked y'all. Roy.
LeBron getting traded to the Knicks.
Nah, y'all ain't trading shit. Y'all too.
I pray to the dark
LeBron's already.
lords.
He's got his career moved. He
Please
wants to
let
be in
LeBron
movies.
go to the Knicks.
Why do you think he came to LA in the first place? He wants to live in Los Angeles and be in movies. That's what he wants to be. That wasn't a
Yeah,
career
but he don't
move.
have a no trade clause.
He didn't look at
though.
that. He didn't look at that roster and say,
He did-
"Fuck Lonzo Ball."
He fucked up.
Tavius
He
Caldwell
fucked
Pope.
up. He fucked up.
Zubac. I know I'm gonna win a title here. No, he didn't look at that shit.
Yeah, he thought he could win a title with
No,
them.
he couldn't even get in the playoffs with them motherfuckers.
They were top 4 before him and fucking
Man,
Ball
come
got
on,
hurt.
man.
And you know that's the truth.
I don't buy that at all. And I'm saying this: if you're the best player,
50-50 with 16 votes.
hey, all right, some smart motherfuckers are coming into the room on the Barkley thing.
Like one
Some
other
of the people
person.
are just joining us. We got to debate whether
One other person voted.
what pick was the right pick. If you're the Giants, would you have taken Sam Darnold or Barkley? To me, it's Barkley without a fucking doubt. Go find a quarterback this year. Haskins. Go trade a second for Josh Rosen. Fucking, I don't
The
care if
problem
you play Eli
is
or
they
you
tried
get Tua
Eli
next year.
old ass out there to fuck
No, but I'm
up
saying,
again.
but like Barkley and Darnold, it's not even a comparison. I don't even know how people have voted that way. I think they're just fucking with me, to be honest with me. I mean, it's
that's
not
the
even
most-
first yet.
That's
but
the most serious. That's the most serious of voters.
I don't know, man. We need to fucking do a background check on these motherfuckers before they vote, man. All right, man. But here's my thing. Last thing, we talked to Little Pelicans for briefly. We were just kind of getting at with the whole Ingram thing. You saw Alex. So I talked a little basketball, but a kind of a fucked up scenario happened, man. I know our girl Rebecca Jones, who catches us on Twitter. The Utah Jazz fan in the Russell Westbrook situation, not a pleasant situation for the NBA by any means. I'm kind of mad at both parties involved here. That's where I stand on it. If the guy said something racist to Westbrook, he needs to get his ass kicked and he never needs to come back to another NBA game. Simple as that. If it was more just taunting without racism, you know, I'm okay with taunting. But once you throw racism in there, that's not cool. But Westbrook did one of the worst things I've seen done. If anybody hasn't watched the tape on that, you don't threaten a woman. On tape, he visibly tells a guy, I'm going to fuck you up and your wife.
Sometimes
That's
it's better
not
to
cool
meet
at all.
aggression with not more aggression.
There's no
It
excuse.
fucks
I
it
don't
up.
care. And the racism thing's bullshit. That sucks. That's horrible. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that 1,000,000%. But I don't care what you're a professional athlete. Unless that guy ran out on the court and threw a beer at your head or punched you, you don't threaten a woman. And you don't threaten a woman even at that fucking point. You maybe, if the guy comes at you and charges you on the court, you whip his ass. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. But man, I don't like the threatening of a woman. And to me, that's what kind of player Russell Westbrook is. He's not headstrong. He's never going to win a championship in this league for that reason. And to me, his window's already closed for winning a title. And I picked the Thunder as a sleeper this year, but when I see shit like that happen, if you can't control yourself against a fan, how are you going to fucking control yourself in the NBA Finals or deep in the playoffs? Because that's mental stress. He's not Chris Paul, Steph Curry in terms of a mental standpoint.
That's when
and
somebody
you have
sends
to
us.
have that to win
Somebody's going to send a Sasha Vujacic to get into his head. And
Pat Beverly years ago fucking they put a hit out on him. You know what I'm saying? You can fuck Westbrook's head up that easily. Exactly. Dennis Rodman, Vujacic, all these guys. That's what I'm saying, man. Like Draymond Green in a fucking playoff series. Say they get the Warriors. You think they ain't fucking with him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on. Westbrook,
like a
and I like the Thunder
Bruce
team.
Bowen back in the day.
But exactly, that's what I'm saying. They get in your head. And Westbrook, to me, that was a black eye for the NBA. I think that was a horrible situation.
I'll say
the
this.
fans are dipshit, no doubt about it. And
I think
don't know all
every
the details
championship
what he
team
said,
needs a
but
guy like that.
Nobody does. But
needs a guy or three like that.
Mhm.
I don't know. You could have like a bunch of superstars, but you need somebody that's going to go fuck around and get into other teams' head just by doing weird shit.
And Westbrook's the guy to let it happen to him. I mean, that's what's proven. I mean,
Lance Stevenson's supposed to be the guy, but
can't make play.
he goes to the wrong teams.
Shit,
He needs to be like the 13th guy that just fucking pisses off the other team. When you count on him for real shit, that takes a bad
you do
look.
have to have that guy. I mean, like I said, the Bulls always had it with Rodman. I mean, like you said, the Lakers.
Like
had
that's his destiny.
The Warriors. I mean, Draymond. I think that's half the battle for Draymond. He's an asshole. I think he's a pretty above average player, but he's a fucking an asshole, and he gets under your skin.
He's fucking grade A at that. He just brings a lot of shit to the table. But that's probably one of his keenest attributes.
So yeah, man. So we're gonna find Poncho, man. It's gonna be like finding Poncho this weekend. Mr. C's.
Hey, if you want to find Poncho, you got to look at the Dancing Bear.
Anybody on Twitter, anybody here knows what a Dancing Bear is. I just want to know that I'm not like one of the only ones that had no idea what that is. I fucking Dancing Bear. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's something sexual, apparently. I don't think anybody's still going to get it with the fucking hint because I think there's two dudes that we're friends with that know what a dancing bear is, and they must have watched the same porno by description.
Hopefully not in the same room.
Hopefully not. Hopefully they weren't sharing the same bottle of Jergens.
Man.
But where we at, man, with our time?
We at 45.
We're staring down the barrel of a 45, y'all, like Shinedown. So we're going to fucking get the fuck out of here. You got it. We
riding out.
St. Bernard, Saturday night, Mr. C's, 10 o'clock. We're going to be tearing the club up, man. We might get a little mic action going there. Bust it out. Bust it over, baby.
Bust it out. That's how we rock out in this bit.